Hey everybody, welcome to The Art of Comics. I'm your host, Andres Salazar. Very excited to have you here. I am a comic book aficionado, creator, lover of the medium, and if you want to know more about my personal work, go check out my Patreon in the link below in the description. A lot of those posts that I have on Patreon are free. They're for everybody, like my comic strips. But if you want the good meat, if you want the meat, all my graphic novels, and the sequential storytelling, that does cost $1. So go take a look, see what you think. I would love to have you there. Now, this is the episode you've all been waiting for. At least it's the episode I've been waiting for. And I wish I could do surprises, but on YouTube you can't do surprises because you click the link, so you know what the title is, you know what this is, and it's here. Okay, you're like, I like Bill Sienkiewicz, or I like Marvel, or whatever. I like Artist Edition. So you click the link, so you know what's about to happen. Here we go. Now, I've literally had this, no joke. I've had this for not last Christmas, but the Christmas before I bought this for myself, because that's how I roll. $185, the most expensive book I've ever bought. It was more expensive than the Ronin, which is much bigger. And hopefully it'll be the most expensive I'll ever buy, because that's just kind of ridiculous, okay? And I understand it's ridiculous. But Bill Sienkiewicz is one of my art parents, and I love him. He's my top 3, so we gotta get it. And I wanna learn from it and study it. So we're gonna chop this video up in a couple parts, because we do have some kind of drop off after a few minutes. And I feel like I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to see this. And if you're at work or something and you don't want to sit there for a 40-minute video, we'll just do little parts, okay? So this is part 1. We're going to change the camera, flip it around. We're going to do a deep dive on Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants, Moon Knights, and Assassins, okay? This is, as you know, it's IDW getting these pages from different collectors, maybe Bill himself. It does. I think it has 1 or 2 full stories, but most of it is just little like pieces. It's not like Ronin or Dark Knight or some of those other books that is like the entire story, or like that the Toth book, the Bravo. That book is actually the whole comic. So those are of course the best. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, another one. This is just parts, but it is what it is. It's wonderful. It's expensive. It's out of print. I love it. I'm excited to share it with you. I've literally been sitting on it for like 16 months. And why, you might ask? I don't know why. I just have been waiting for the moment when I feel inspired or lack of inspiration. I'm just like, I don't know what to say on this channel. Well, guess what? We're doing it. We're doing comics, my homies. So let's turn the camera. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's go.
Are you ready?
Okay, everybody, let's do this. I am excited. I hope you're excited too. The Artifact Edition. Oh, by the way, Artifact, that's why we know it's not like an artist edition. Artifact Edition is the term when you don't have a complete story, okay? So let's just take a look at this beautiful freaking book. I don't know where I got the money or the gumption to buy this, but I think it was after a convention. I think it was like, if I sell out of all my books, if I sell out of Pryor, Missouri at, I think it was the LA Comic Con, then I'm going to buy this for myself. And I think that's what happened. If you want to get Pryor, Missouri, go check the link below. Okay. Let's just start here. What I love about Sienkiewicz is that he's an artist, he's an illustrator, and he brings a level of craft and artistry to comics. He really brought that Bob Peak feel that, illustrators of the time, Whitcomb, Briggs, Fawcett, all those masters. He brings that here with his shapes, with his blacks, his abstractness, the textures, the dry brush here, the white out. You see, this is art. This feels like this could be at the Met, right? Maybe I'm overselling it, but that's how I feel about this dang thing. Great little ink drawing here from the bear on the this Moon Knight story. Excuse me, the New Mutant story, which is brilliant. The Devil Bear or something like that. And then we're going to do some painting. We're going to see some painting the Electra Assassin. We'll probably get that in part 2. And another little technique here, we do see these, not bidet dots, oh gosh, what is the name of that film? It is a chemicals that they use to treat these paper to give it this look. And it was a type of paper they used, and I can't think of the name of it. Comment below. It's escaping me, but I know it. I know of it. I've never used it because it's hard to find now. I can't remember what it's called. It's not normal screen tone. It's not zipatone. It's a different kind of duotone, duoshade, duoshade or duotone. One of those. You can see a little nice little white out. I love all this, like, you know, this is all very like artsy, right? I'm going to use that term artsy just as a way to say like I think it goes into that fine art, you know, it goes from illustration and commercial art into that fine art world. My thought. Love these little backgrounds with the either white out or maybe some white. Actually, it looks like white, like oil sticks, perhaps. Something like that, maybe. Or it could be white out. Man, what I love about him is his shapes, the blocking, you know, stuff he does. He breaks this down, and you'll see modern artists do this a lot too, like Michael Lark or Tommy Lee Edwards, those guys like that. They block things out. They break it down into shapes. And instead of like refining it and really making it kind of smooth and organic, they just keep it in that kind of like shapes. But since the shapes are true to form, it works. It totally works. You know, you might say like, he needs to really, you know, really make that, because that's not anatomically correct, that angle. But because it just works. I don't know why necessarily it works, but it does. He could refine this, of course, and make a very beautiful contour line for everything, but he doesn't. I think it works. Okay, so we're gonna look at, is this the full story? I don't think it is. Is this one? Okay, now we're gonna just get various pages of these new mutants. There is one. There's a full story somewhere in here. Maybe it's Electra #1. We get the full like issue 1. Okay. So this is early on. This is 84. I think this stuff is really where he shines. He came on, I want to say he came on to work after Neil Adams. I think Neil Adams was a bit of a mentor, or somehow, I can't remember the connection, but they have a connection. And I think Neil Adams was doing Moon Knight, or somebody wanted him to do some kind of Neil Adams type of stuff. And he did that. But this, I think, the New Mutant stuff with Chris Claremont is really good. Like, this alone is a wonderful image. And if you want to see, I have another video of Sienkiewicz's Sienkiewicz's New Mutants saga. I made a collector's hardcover of that. Oh, can I see it? I just grab it real quick to show you. Is this it? This might be it. No, that's not it. Okay, I don't have it handy, but I made like a hardcover book that collected all those issues. So we go into this, but this is a wonderful image. You've got the bed with her scared at night. You have the imagery on the quilted pattern of this bear, and it's all in these kind of really flat grid. That's not rulered though. It's not like a perfect grid. It's got contour lines. It's got these kind of texture in here. It's so good. It's just, this alone, you're like, oh crud, we're doing something here, right? Shades of, Dave McKean would do this. The Brit would do this later on in stuff like Sandman covers, and yeah. So this is like a Vertigo title, basically. What I like about these editions too is we get to see the age of the paper is kind of fun, the whiteouts, the mistakes, all those kind of things are kind of cool to kind of like experience. The paste ups of the lettering, of the big, words. And it's interesting, he signs all the pages. Not all artists do that, but at least these pages here are signed. That was kind of interesting. Now that might be because he sold them, and so these are from the collector, and they just scanned them in and gave them to ADW. I'm not sure. Really love this rough stuff. I was trying to do this for my new book I'm doing, Shangri-La. Just really putting a lot of like fun texture and dry brush in here to give it a little bit more depth and such. Really great texture here. Another tactic to kind of show some space, kind of an atmospheric perspective, right? Can give it a little bit more space by putting a little bit of white out on there. But I really like this hand. I really like the way he does this. And he's using dry brush, crow quill, all kinds of little tools. That's what is fun to see. Is like, what is he doing? How's he doing it? Really fun. Does this not look like Alfred Hitchcock? It's gotta be Alfred Hitchcock. But anyway, wonderful faces. He is great. And this is the size, right? This is the comic page. So this is what he's drawing at, this size, which is neat too, to kind of look at. Okay, how much detail do you put on something like this? And of course it gets shrunk down. This is great. A big swath of Zipatone page was used here, but it works perfectly. You can kind of see it, cut it out here, and that's really cool. Just that gradient. And I like the crow quill here, kind of shades of Mobius's deserts that he does. It went way over the line, which they probably had to fiddle fart a little bit with it when they put it in the comic. This is a great 2-page spread. This would be wonderful to own. The contrast with the heavy action and details with this big scape. And then you also have these little elements here of like this is like an aerial shot of it, and just really interesting things. Just the way he made the borders, and he wrote Stan Lee. All this is all hand done, right? It's just kind of fun. Really gives it a kind of craft level. And then he made the kind of this title a little different and said, I need to put a little bit of white on that D. Really great. Just really nice. Nicely done. My gosh, we're almost at 9. We're at 10 minutes and we're just on a couple pages. We might have to keep doing, we might have to just go. Let's go 5 more minutes. Let's make this a 15-minute because there's so much to talk about. And it is beautiful. And I hope, I'm downloading this to YouTube as or uploading it as a high res. So hopefully you can see the quality of this work. Great rendering, just really good stuff. Good 3/4 shot here. Again, reminds me of Topi doing stuff like this. Another guy, Topi, that he liked, an Italian artist. Maybe for part 2 I can grab out the Topi and show you what I'm talking about. But you see a lot of this kind of really fine cross-hatching and stuff of Topi. Just wonderful stuff. And again, another great image here. Just wonderful stuff. Love these faces. A lot of action, a lot of like levels, right? This is cool. This is something he's so good at, is not only rendering like really nice renders of faces in these perspectives, which are really hard. That's actually not an easy shot to do, and I've tried it multiple times. I should probably actually just sit here and draw my face, make it look like this. Maybe that's what I will do, because that's a nice angle. But I love all this, like the energy stuff he does. I love he's using a marker, he's using pen, he's using brush, all kinds of different things, and of course the toothbrush and the splatter in there. It's just it's just kinetic, a lot of like abstract stuff. And I also like how he did the robot guy, Psylocke, or no, not Psylocke. Oh shit! Remind me what his name is. What is this guy's name? Robot dude. Ah, crap. I can't remember. Now, what's interesting is that I thought this was all on whiteout, but this doesn't look like whiteout. Maybe it's just some white acrylic that kind of faded, but you can tell it's not the same as like some of these other whiteout marks. But I thought it was all done, painted reverse. It must be. I think it's just the white acrylic paint just has faded into the normal color. Just great. This is another great two-shot profile with front on. We see that a lot in those Wally Wood, 24 panels that always work. That's a great like classic panel you can always use. We need a Kyle Baker one of these for his work that he did on the shadow. Because if you look at Kyle Baker, the shadow, and you look at this, you're seeing a lot of interesting similarities. I think they're both very similar in the work. Now, they both went off into different worlds. Kyle went more to animation, kind of look to it. But he's got the chops just as this guy does. Okay, we're going to stop here for part 1. We're going to keep going. We're just going to keep hammering these out. Look at this. Beautiful stuff. Now, this is a beautiful brush. This is all like, okay, we're going to do brush work now. Her hair. This is great. We're going to stop here. I don't want to stop, but we're going to stop. Oh, look at that. That's great. Okay, stop. Thanks for watching, you guys. Part 2 coming up.